Hey vinyl friends and vinyl community, it's Brian from Brian's Vinyl Records, and it is Monday, which means it's time for another installment of Vinyl Editions. So this week I've got quite a bit of cool stuff to show you. Went a little crazy on some auctions, went a little crazy on buying some stuff in general, and just really happy to, feel like kind of normal again. Curbside is opened up this week here in Minnesota, and all of my local record stores are now offering that service, so I'm really excited about that. So I was able to pick up some things that I bought on Friday on our vinyl happy hour that we do through down in the valley, and I got to pick those up today, so super excited to show those. But let's start with vintage vinyl in Red Wing, Minnesota. I ordered a couple things from them, and they showed up like probably about 2 hours after I recorded the video for last week. So I was going to add an amendment to the video, but decided to just leave it be, and I'd show them this week. So we'll start with this. This is the first Mudcrutch album. If you don't know, Mudcrutch is Tom Petty's band with I think half the band is part of the Heartbreakers as well. This was before Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. This is what they called themselves before that, and they kind of they never really released anything as a band that I remember, but then they kind of went back in the 2000s and started recording some songs again that they had written for that time, and they put out 2 albums, I believe. I have 2 of their albums anyway, and I was missing this one. I have Mudcrutch 2. This is Mudcrutch 1. Super awesome stuff. So yeah, this has from the Heartbreakers, let's see, it's got Mike Campbell in here, it's got Ben Montench in here, and then you got Tom Petty, and the other 2 I think are members that they had before the Heartbreakers were formed. So very cool Mudcrutch. Happy to pick that up. I've been wanting that for a long time and just can't find it anywhere in stock, and when I saw it posted on their site, I knew I had to get it. The other one I picked up is this one. This is Queensryche's Promised Land album. This came out, this was the follow-up to the album Empire, which is the one album that I really knew from Queensryche. I've started to kind of fill in my Queensryche catalog, especially the older stuff. Recently purchased Rage for Order, and of course I had Empire, and I saw this and thought I might get this one as well. This one was on a discount. He had 25% off, so I immediately went for it. It sounds awesome. It's a reissue. It comes on clear vinyl, so that's pretty cool. Just a fun album. If you like Queensryche, you'll really dig this album. It's good. So happy to have that. All right, then I had some orders that I had placed on Amazon that weren't supposed to come until mid-May, and then all of a sudden they all decided to come together. So here's what I got. I got the reissue of this awesome album from the 90s. This is Urge Overkill. Saturation has the hit song Sister Havana on it. Just a really, really killer album. Awesome. Been eyeing this for a long time and decided to finally pull the trigger on it. It's super cool. It comes on clear vinyl as well, so that's pretty awesome. Happy to get that. Also, finally picked up the first record from the record company. I bought their second album from them at the Blackberry Smoke show last summer. When I went and saw them live, they opened for Blackberry Smoke, and I was super impressed. I could only buy one album at the time, so I got the newer one, and now I finally got this one as well. I also got their Record Store Day release that came out last year, which is also very awesome, so super pumped about that. Great band, just a real good bluesy rock band. Good stuff. This is super cool. This is Joy Williams' Venus Acoustic. So when she wrote the songs, she wrote them bare minimal acoustic style, right? So guitar, acoustic guitar, and vocals. And this album is a lot of the songs from the Venus record done acoustically. Most of them with just guitar and vocal in them, and it's super fantastic. I really love it. Been looking at this one too for a long time. Finally pulled the trigger on it. Super happy I did. Just really great stuff. If you don't know Joy Williams, she is the former duo partner in the Civil Wars. And lastly, Amazon sent me this one. This is cool. This is Marcus King Band. Ooh, coming out. The Marcus King Band, and this is Soul Insight, a really good blues album. Marcus King is a phenomenal guitar player. I believe he's 23, 24 years old now. This one is from 2015 when he was just, I believe, 17 years old when he recorded this. And no, maybe, yeah, 2015, something like that, 17, 18 years old, super young, and awesome guitar player. Love the Gibson SG here, and just really good. If you like blues, definitely check out Marcus King Band. All right, so let's talk about my purchases from Down in the Valley. Down in the Valley has a Friday night happy hour every Friday night since the lockdown has kind of begun here, and curbside ended. They do it from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock Central. They bring out 3 bins of records, and it's just first dibs gets the record. So if you see something you like, you can dib on it, and then all that good stuff. So these are the 2 albums that I won in that auction style thing, not auction, I guess, claim on the show. The first one is this one. This is the Scorpions' Lonesome Crow. This is from 1972, and this is super cool. This is not what you would think the Scorpions would be, right? This is kind of, it has a psych feel, almost a Cream type feel to it. Just really, really good guitars, vocals, everything. It's super cool. Totally different from anything the Scorpions had ever done, and I'm super happy I found this and picked this up from Down in the Valley. It's just pretty darn awesome. So if you want to hear something different from the Scorpions, check this album out. I think you'll really like it. And then this is pretty cool. So I had, for the longest time, a copy of this. This is Black Sabbath's Greatest Hits. It's from 1977, and it comes from Holland. And I had my uncle's copy, and unfortunately, it didn't have a cover for it, right? So it got pretty beat up because it had been stored in my parents' closet for so long. And so there's a lot of scratches and just ugly marks on the vinyl, but I kept it because it was it's a cool piece. And a friend of mine in the vinyl community, Norman, had let me know that he had a cover for this album, and the album inside was cracked, so it was no good to him. So I asked if I could buy it from him, and he said sure, and he just sent it to me. Didn't ask for any money. So I finally got a cover for my copy of this album. Well, then this came up on Friday on the show, and I just had to get it. It was not expensive. It was pretty cheap, and now I have an upgraded copy that plays really nicely, and with a cover that looks really good too. So super happy to have that. The album is on the turntable, that's why this is so floppy, but yeah, pumped about that. Black Sabbath Holland compilation there. I also picked up a couple albums new from them as well in their new inventory. I've really been getting into Jenny Lewis, and so I started listening to her former band, Rilo Kiley, and this is another one. I picked up one last week. I decided to get another one this week. This one is Takeoffs and Landings, I believe it's called. Yeah, Takeoffs and Landings. This is, I'm excited to listen to this. I haven't even cracked the seal yet. Super pumped about it, but if it's anything like the other album I got from them, it's going to be great. So super happy with that. And then I decided to delve deeper into my former Nemesis band, and I picked up REM's Out of Time. This is the album that I was more familiar with out of any of their stuff, because this was the one that came out around the time that I was really getting into that type of music. Now, if you haven't heard the story about my love-hate relationship with REM, I recommend going back and listening to my podcast, and I explain all of that there. And yeah, so I've really basically shut them out for about 16 years. Well, probably longer than that, actually. It might be close to 26 years. I don't know, somewhere in there. But I have just not given them the time of day since the 90s, whatever that would equate to. And one of my buddies decided to ask me. We do a podcast together for my Brian's Vinyl Records podcast called Tracks, where we look at an album track by track and talk about all sorts of things, what we like about it, what we don't like about it, the instrumentation, the production, songwriting, all that stuff. And so he asked if I would be willing to do an REM album, and I honestly told him I didn't like the idea, but that I would do it anyway. And to my surprise, we did Out of Time, or not Out of Time, I'm sorry, we did Automatic for the People, and I actually really enjoyed it. So I'm trying to open my mind and listen to REM now, and I decided to get this one because this one has songs I know, like Losing My Religion is on here, Shiny Happy People is on here. So I thought that would be a good one to go to next. So here it is, REM's Out of Time. And last, but certainly not least, on the recommendation of another vinyl community member, I picked up Stevie Wonder Number Ones. This is a compilation album that is found in Target, and I'm not sure if it's available in other places or not, but this has, it's 2 LP. It has 20 songs on here. Yeah, 20 songs, 20 number one songs on here. So all the hits by Stevie Wonder. And the person who pointed me to it said that it just sounds absolutely fantastic. So I decided to go for it. I've been eyeing it for a while. It's a $28 album at Target, but I think it's gonna be worth it. So here it is, red vinyl, pretty cool, Target exclusive vinyl color. I don't know if anyone else sells this album. I'd imagine it's available other places too, but they've got a real good selection of these new compilations, number ones. I think I've seen Diana Ross and the Supremes. I've seen Marvin Gaye, obviously this one here, and I think there are a couple others that they've put out recently. So I'm gonna give this a try, and if it's good, I might pick up some of the other ones as well. But Stevie Wonder number ones, that's gonna close it down this week for vinyl editions. Quite a lot of stuff that came in and that I picked up. Super excited about that. Looking forward to hopefully soon being able to flip through records again. A lot of this is new stuff. Looking forward to getting back and digging through some of that used stuff too, to get some of that older vinyl that isn't necessarily out there in reissue. Some Dolly Partons and things like that. So happy to be able to do it this way, support my local record stores that way and all that. And so just really looking forward to getting in there, talking with people about music again, and digging through those records like we used to do before all this hit. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and if you're new, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to check out my podcast, Brian's Vinyl Records. You can find it on all your favorite podcast apps. Just search for Brian's Vinyl Records. It's not something that is updated frequently. I try to do a little more these days, but life is busy right now, especially with this corona stuff going on. It's harder for me to find time to podcast when I have kids doing homework at home and I'm trying to work as well from home, and time just gets away, and by the end of the day you're wiped, and the last thing you want to do is sit in front of a microphone. So anyway, but check that out. The last thing we did was recovering the satellites by the Counting Crows. Check that out. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook if you'd like to. Thank you for your support, and until next time, keep spinning, vinyl friends.